Namaste. Thank you for watching my channel. My name is Mani and today we will be doing a 10 minutes flow to get stronger arms. For today's flow I am using a stretch band, but in case you don't have it, just use any towel or any kind of cloth. Purpose here is to just give a range of motion and stretch your shoulders to begin with. So take inhale and stretch your arms to the full range of motion. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So 4 to 5 times is a good way to just start your flow because we want to activate our muscles. I'm going to stretch my arms as much possible in the front as I can and similarly in the back. So just make sure that your arms are as away from your body as you possibly can. Stretch them. Now we are going to also stretch our wrists. Place your fingers facing towards you and gently move back and forth. Make sure that your arms are straight, they are not bending, and you're not putting a lot of pressure on your wrists. Also try to do it on the other side of your arms, placing your fingers away from your body and rocking back and forth. I hope this stretch really feels great on your body because it's feeling great on my body. Let's enter into the flow. You can do the warm-up for more time if you want to. So just coming to the tabletop position, hands are just below the shoulder. I'm going to enter into the plank pose. Staying in the plank pose for 30 seconds or more is going to really put a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and that's what we want. Core should be engaged, legs straight, face is facing forward. Now from here, I'm going to enter into Chaturanga. So this one is another way to hold your body as close to the ground as possible without changing the form, meaning the body is parallel to the ground. You can come back by putting your knees on the ground and then lifting your body straight up. Let's do this again. Stay in the plank position. Core should be engaged at all times. And now you can also try to balance yourself by bringing more distance into your feet because that will make it a bit easier. Inhale, come down, parallel to the ground but not touching the ground, meaning that your chest is just close to the ground. It's not touching the ground. Fold your knee and come back to the plank position. Let's do it again. Just in case you're not able to manage the Chaturanga with your legs stretched out, try to do this variation. Here my knees are touching to the ground when I try to enter into the Chaturanga pose. So if you are just starting it, this already should have given you a good kind of fire on your biceps. Mine are burning actually. Now let's do another pose here. We are going to enter into the extended bridge position. So stretch your arms out, lift your glutes from the ground, extend one arm, one leg and the other. Look at the sky, core engaged, and try to stay there for 30 seconds. Let's do this again. Also, you can do the same thing by making your fingers facing towards you, whichever way is easier. I'm going to do it this way. Lift your body parallel to the ground and then extend one leg. Make sure the leg is straight, your glutes are not hanging down, your body is under your control, core is engaged, Hands are just below the shoulders and arms are stretched out. Keep breathing. I know it's tough, but you can do it. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift your body, stretch your legs. Make sure the glutes and the core are engaged and squeezed. Keep breathing. Now we're going to enter into the side plank position. For that, come down onto the floor, facing, right now I'm facing you. So I'm going to put my left arm just under the shoulder, or I can also just start with my hand under the shoulder. So I'm going to show you this variation first. Hand is straight under the shoulder, body is lifted above the ground, my glutes, my hips, core, everything is engaged. I'm not holding the breath. I'm going to show you another variation. This is a much simpler way. Now instead of my arm or my hand, it's the forearm that is touching the ground, but rest of the way is exactly the same. So there should not be any wobbling. So ensure that there is a balance. You're able to maintain the balance with your feet. Here, if you notice, my feet are one above the other. But if that's not helping you, you can also adjust your feet so that the balance is maintained. Let's do it on the other side now. So I did 3 times on the left, and now I'm going to do 3 times on my right side. So same way. The forearm is just below the shoulder, alignment is there, core is engaged, hips are facing forward, and give as much stretch as possible. So be cautious that your hips are not like, you're not bending forward, right? So your hips are exactly squared. Keep breathing, be cautious, core engaged, and balance your body. Let's do this side with now putting the hand instead of forearm to balance the body. Lift it. Look, I am going to support my body with my feet in this way. Whatever way suits you, please adjust your feet. But form should not be compromised. Let's do it one more time. Now this time with my hand again, but I'm going to do a star plank position, another advanced variation of side plank. So here all my body weight is either on my shoulder and hand, and the other leg is just there to support. The feet is hardly touching the ground. It is for ensuring the balance. So do that once you're able to have that confidence to, stay in your side plank for at least 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So try to do then start plank after that. Okay, I hope that by now your arms are really on fire and you've got the energy enough to enter into more advanced strengthening poses. So this one is the downward facing dog. We have done this several times in my previous videos. Tailbone is pointing towards the sky. So your feet can be fully touching the ground, or it could be just the toes touching the ground. You should feel a good stretch on your hamstrings. Core is sucked in. Again, the body and the hips are, it's just lifting above. Arms stretched out. A good triangular shape should be formed with your body. Now here I'm not doing downward facing dog, but here I'm doing a version of it. The version is that we are aiming to put both the forearms on the ground and then lifting it. So this might be tough for some of you. So instead of doing both the arms, let's do one arm at a time, correct? So just put one arm on the ground and lift it. So try to, when you're lifting, make sure that your core is engaged. You're not shaking, your hips are not wobbling when you lift your arms. It's the whole engagement is coming from your core side and your shoulder to lift. So if you're comfortable, you can also try to do it by one arm at a time. You can bring one arm at a time to the ground, stay there, and also lift one arm at a time. So again, one arm at a time on the ground, one arm at a time off the ground. This is a very, very important exercise. Try to do this as many times as you can. But here I'm going to stop it because it could be very extensive also for people who have just started this flow. So I think 4 to 5 times is also enough to begin with. Now we are going to also do what we call as Hindu push-ups. They are very, very excellent form of push-ups because it engages the full body. Actually, you're actually deep diving into the ground and then lifting your body. So it's kind of a wave that you form. So let me demonstrate it to you. From downward, I dive into the ground and lift my body into cobra position. So this is the way we do Hindu push-ups. Exhale, inhale, then exhale and inhale. Easier way to widen your arms. This way you can get it more easier way to lift your body up. Hindu push-ups, or also we call them as dant, is an excellent form of exercise, not just only for your arms and shoulders, but you can see the whole body is getting activated here. If you are a beginner, do it 3 times, 5 times, and if you are an advanced, please repeat this another 10 to 15 times. So now I have shown you different ways and different poses that can strengthen your arms, and now what we are going to do is we are going to test our strength, like if our body is capable enough to do some lifting or not. So 2 ways I'm going to show you. One is the simple way. Here the purpose here is to just test, so we are not going to do anything advanced. Put your arms on the ground, legs extended out, exhale. You got to lift your glutes above the ground. If this is difficult, also you can just lift it on your fingers instead of the hand. So push the ground by your fingers, as if you need to squeeze the ground inside. That's how much pressure you got to put here. Another way is also to lift your body with your legs folded instead of stretched out. This is an easier version. If you want to try this out first, feel free to first fold the legs and then lift your glutes up. All right. Now, for all the people who are able to come all this way along with me, I would really encourage you to do a side crow pose with me. I'm going to demonstrate this pose to you. So another good way to ensure that the balance and the momentum and the strength is there for your arms to be able to lift your body. So sit here on your toes, twist your lower body towards your right side, and here I'm going to stretch my opposite arm such that my bicep, it is locking my knee. My fingers are quite stretched out on the ground, and now all my weight has to come and fall on the wrists and the forearms. Once you find that balance, then lift your legs and stretch them out. This is a side crow pose. It is one of the beginner pose for for building the strong arms. Let's do it on the other side now. It's going to be, you always try to do the yoga poses on both the sides of the body because we don't want one side to be stronger than the other. So let's now do the same thing on the other side. Twist your body, opposite arm, the bicep, it touches the knee, locking the knee. In fact, body is fully twisted to 90 degrees. Arms are very strongly engaged, core is engaged. My weight is on my wrists. And now if you have found the balance, stretch the legs, lift them from the ground, trust yourself and stretch. Put a pillow or, ensure there is something soft in front of your face so that even if you are scared of falling down, it will not hurt you. But again, like, we need to try to do these things to be able to build that confidence in our body that yes, we are able to lift our body on the arm balances. A gentle stretch before we will wrap up the session with a dynamic flow. So if you remember all the stretches I showed in the beginning, this is exactly what I'm doing again. It's for my preparation to do the dynamic flow. So dynamic flow is the combination of all different poses and movements that I had showed you. So come to downward facing dog. Adjust your body, and from here we will come to plank position, Chaturanga, Cobra, and downward facing dog with 4 arms touching the ground. Lift your body, plank, Chaturanga, Cobra, and 4 arms touching the ground. Let's do it again fast this time. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 4 arms, plank, Chaturanga, Cobra. Exhale and downward facing dog, plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Touch your forearms on the ground before you go to plank, then Chaturanga, downward facing dog, and then finally downward facing dog, right? I hope it felt great. I am sweating big time already. And now I'm going to combine the side plank with the tabletop. Put the hands the way you would like to. Lift your body, stretch your legs straight ahead of you. Lift your glutes, engage the core. From here, you can come to side plank by coming down to the ground and then lifting the body in the side plank again. Now from here, we go to the tabletop again. And now side plank at the other side. Come back to the tabletop, stretch your legs, side plank, and start plank. Try if you can also hold yourself into the start plank position. Side plank, we will do the tabletop, side plank, start plank, hold there, hold, come down, and without touching the ground, if you can come back to start to the tabletop, that will be great. Otherwise, let's continue with the side plank. Now instead of forearms, I'm using just a hand with the start plank position. So you can try out different variations or whatever makes your body more balanced and strong. But let's end the flow with a child pose. Exhale, take deep breaths, stretch out, stretch your arms, stretch your biceps. Give your body deep side stretches. We did a lot of workout today. This wasn't easy. It's like a dynamic power yoga that we just did. And don't forget to also take deep breaths. We come to the end. If you like my video, please share, subscribe, and also like it. Thank you so much for watching.